Hey there, Kathy. In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 things that you guys can do today to help bring in more customers to your business. My name again is Seleni McGregor, and I work with business owners across the state of Utah. Again, I'm based out of Utah County myself, so up in one of the service areas that you guys work in. But I put together this quick custom video for you just about your online presence and specifically how you stack up against your competition here. So at this point, you're most likely sitting there asking yourself, okay, why would she be doing this and what's the catch here? Well, that's a fair question. What I have found is that with most local business owners, they're just too busy actually running their business. They might be swamped with payroll, helping customers, answering questions, maybe just dealing with employees and simply staying on top of jobs that many times learning how to leverage the internet to benefit their company just gets buried underneath all of the other to-dos. And let's be real, half the time somebody may not have hired somebody yet is because they just don't know who to trust or know who is truly an expert. So that is exactly why I make videos like this. I found that by giving people an easy, free attack plan of things that they can actually do to impact their business for free, it has resulted in some of those local business owners still raising their hands and saying, hey, I like you, Seleni. Can you please just handle this for me? So if by the end of this video you've liked what you've heard and can see that I've got a lot of tricks up my sleeve that can help your business, shoot me a message back and we can chat. Or if at the end of this video you simply want to take this free attack plan that I gave to you and do it yourself, that works for me too. Now let's go ahead and cover the 3 things that are going to set custom tech roofing above your competition. First will be content, second citations, and third backlinks. So first up is content. So as you can see here, we've got your website pulled open here. So since Google isn't a human, it doesn't just know what you do. It has to be told through your content. Content is basically going to be anything here that is highlighted. Sorry, it's not letting me highlight with that. Anything here that is highlighted. So this can be text on your pages. It can be what your pictures are saved as, what's behind the pictures in the alt text. All of that can be considered content. So to give you an example of the image content, for instance, if we jump over here into one of your images, let's do a right click and we can do a save image as. We can see what you've got your image saved as. Right now it's residential roofing. This one I think was similar for commercial roofing for each category here. Now these are decent descriptions. It's better than some of the ones I see. I see a lot of just numbers and letters here. So this is a good start. However, a better way to be able to leverage this would be by using high volume keywords detailed in your detailed image descriptions, and especially those location specific keywords here. Again, all of this here in your content are things that the Google bots are able to read and basically get an idea of what is this business, what areas are they targeting, what services do they offer. All of that is going to help position you there in the search ranking. So the goal is having unique and authoritative content, and you need to have enough of it to be able to add in the right keywords and phrases that people are actually searching for in Google in order for somebody to find the services that you offer. So most business owners know they need content, but how much is always the question. Well, to rank number 1 on Google, especially for roofing, the average content count was like 1,500 to 2,400 words on your homepage alone. Again, while making sure that it contains the right keywords and phrases that people are searching for. So I went ahead and copied all of your content here from your homepage and I plugged it into a tool. It looks like your homepage is sitting around 461 words. So we definitely want to get an increase here. If we jump over here to your competitors down in the St. George area, I went off St. George just because it looked like that was your main hub area. We've got Rio Roofing here. Again, I went ahead and copied all of their content that they've got here on their website and plugged it into my same tool. It looks like their site is coming around just under 1,500 words here on their homepage. So again, we want to be able to increase yours, but very beatable in time. Now we're going to go ahead and jump over here into one of my tools. It's a pretty cool tool. It's called Ahrefs. Basically just gives me behind the scene details that Google is looking at when it comes to ranking a site. So I can get a pretty good idea of what's working well for you and your competition. So again, I've got one of your competitors here, the Rio Roofing, plugged in here. Right off the bat in the overview, we can just see like how many keywords their site is currently being found for, how much traffic is roughly being driven to that site every single month. Now, since we're talking about content, we're going to go ahead and dive in here to the keywords. Just take a quick look at what they're being found for here. So you can see right off the bat the different types of keywords and how many people in this volume column, this is how many people are searching every single month for that key term. So initially we're able to see here they're ranking in a high position for roofers, St. George. Again, that's being searched 50 times every single month. your roofing that's branded, and then St. George Roofing, 70 searches every month. Roofing Companies St. George, 60 searches every single month. You can see here, it looks like their positioning is within the first 5-ish positions there for a lot of those top keywords, which is a great positioning to be because it's helping push their business to the top and get more traffic and get more views. Now let's go ahead and jump over here into your website. I've got your URL plugged in here. We see the exact same overview. I can see how many keywords your website is being found for and roughly what type of traffic it's driving every single month. So again, let's jump into your keywords specifically, and we can go ahead and take a look and see that you're being found for about 3 keywords according to this tool. St. George Roofing is a great one, being found searched 70 times every single month. This is showing you in a high position for it. However, when I did search in Google, which I'll go over Google kind of in a moment too, but for that same key term, I'm not seeing you in the top position. So I don't know if maybe at one point you did, and that's where this tool kind of captured you at. But I'm not seeing you in that second position that it's showing currently. Again, they do fluctuate. Google algorithms change often, and so you may have maybe lost some ranking there. So you are searching or being found for that keyword, but just like seeing the amount of keywords that you could be being found for, but you're not being found for in the St. George area alone. There are so many other keywords, even just seeing their list of how many more they're being found for that you aren't being found for. So again, what would that be able to do for your business to be able to be found for those? Another huge area that I actually wanted to point out is when I was taking a look at your website, I saw your service areas here. You guys service a huge area as far as, all of Washington and then all of Utah County. And according to those key terms here, you were only being found for 2 St. George key terms, right? So you've got these 2, St. George Roofing and St. George Roof Repair. There are no other keywords that you're being found for anywhere else in the Washington County area, and then nowhere at all in the Utah County area. So according to the tool, you're not even visible here in Utah County for any of these key terms at all for different roofing services. To give you a really brief, kind of top level overview here, I would just throw in Provo because that's a pretty high search volume density here up in Utah County. And just Provo alone, look at all of this search volume every single month. Provo roof repair, 70 searches every month. Roof repair Provo, roof replacement Provo at 50. Roof repair Provo 40. Whew, starting to get tongue twisted here. I say that 10 times fast. But all of this search volume, just these ones alone, you're looking over 500 key terms for these different roofing services, just Provo alone. And again, these other areas, you're going to have other, like Lehigh guarantees got search volume, Orem, Pleasant Grove, especially these larger, densely populated areas in Utah County. But even these smaller ones, if you can capture the traffic there and being a preferred roofer, but right now, the tool is not picking up that you're even being found for those as an option in those areas. And so I just saw such a huge opportunity here for you guys to be able to capture both those St. George keywords that your competitors are being found for, but also the Utah County keywords that are just not even being found at all. Now, kind of wrapping up content again, first thing to beat out your competition is just helping increase your content count here on your homepage, making sure you get at least 1,500 words to be able to beat out your competitors, but you need to be able to use the right keywords and terms so that you guys are actually being found, again, in the right way to be found in all the areas that you're actually servicing. Now, we're going to go ahead and jump over into the second thing, which is citations. So let's jump over here into Google. I've got one of the key terms plugged in here, roofing St. George. Now, what we see here at the top is you always see the ads section, right? We're not going to go into this a lot, but just wanted to briefly mention the thing with ads is they can work, but they can also be a really big money pit if your foundation, like your website's not dialed in, or if customers are using an ad blocker. So just be really careful to not burn through your money on Google ads unless you know for sure that your site is going to convert. Excuse me. Now we're going to jump down here below the ads. We're going to get down into this section. So this is the coveted map section, also called the Google Business Profile Maps or map listings. So this area has a lot to do with citations. And you're probably wondering, okay, what's a citation? Well, great question. So of course, I'm sure you've seen this map section. You've probably even used this map section. Maybe you've thought, how in the world can I get my business up on here? Well, great question. So to get yourself in the top 3, the number one thing that Google looks at is a thing called citations. So a citation is just your name, address, and phone number listed on as many online directories like these. Yelp, Yellow Pages, City Star, all of that is helping Google to be able to verify you and give relevance to your local business, which will therefore help push you up here in the Google Map listings. Of course, there's more to it than that with the optimization, but that is the number one thing that Google looks at in order to help get you here. So, of course, you might be asking yourself, okay, how do I actually get these citations? Well, there are paid tools like Whitespark or Bright Local that'll tell us the exact directories that these competitions are listed on, and we can go out and get those same ones and match them, if not better, right? We don't want to just match them, we want to dominate them. What we have seen is with most roofing companies that are ranked to the top, we usually see them around 150 to 200 citations. So if you're pushed down way below that, which I didn't even see you guys up here with my brief overview, and so if you're pushed down below that, you might only have 0 to 10, it looks like, because you weren't even showing up here in the first top 10 searches there. So we got to be able to go get those citations to match and then dominate your competition. Now, let's talk about the last thing, which is backlinks, or often called link juice. Now, this third pillar really will help you dominate on Google. So again, when you search the term roofing St. George, and we scroll down past the map pack, we get down into this section, which is the organics listing section. Now, you can see here your site is not ranked as number 1, 2, 3, down here, 4, 5, 6, anywhere here on the first page of Google. Now, this is ideally where we want to be. Ideally, we want to be in the top 3 because Google statistics have shown that out of the top 3 businesses, they get about 75% of the clicks, meaning that most of your potential customers are choosing one of these first 3 results, never making it down to your listing. So in order to get here, you've got to beat out your competition in every aspect. You need authority. So how do you get authority? Well, this is where the backlinks come into play. So basically, a backlink is just when one website links to another website online. The easiest way to think about it is kind of like a popularity contest back in high school. You want the coolest, most popular kid to be recommending you. So in this popularity contest, the business with the most relevant link juice or authority wins. And I say relevant because not all backlinks are created equal. So you guys are roofers, right? Well, you wouldn't want to get a backlink from an ice cream shop linking back to you because you don't make ice cream. Although that would be very tasty, that backlink would be kind of useless to you. But if you got a backlink from like a local blog or another industry-specific site linking back to you, it would be much more effective. Now again, let's jump over here into my tool one more time, jump back over here into the overview. I can see here your site has 2 backlinks being pointed back to your website. I mean, it's not bad. It's not 0, right? But it's not dominant. If we jump over here, even just to Rio here, let me run over to the overview. You can see they've got 102 backlinks being pointed back to their website, and some are from very strong, relevant sources. So again, how do we get these? Well, here with Ahrefs, we can actually go in and see the exact links that they're getting on their website, and we can go out and match those same ones, if not better ones, to be able to beat them out. Again, beating them out in the backlink industry is totally possible, especially over time. Now, again, getting you here to the top of Google is not magic. It's just a tried and true method. And I have shown you that exact method here today. So again, the 3 things that you can do is first focusing on that content like we had talked about, getting it to at least 1,500 words so your company actually gets found when people are searching for these keywords in both the Washington and the Utah County area. Second is just working on your citations, getting your business listed on more of these online directories. And then last was backlinks, making sure that you guys are getting more relevant backlinks being pointed back to your website. That way it shows Google that you're the authority. Also, just as I glance through here, the 2 that you've got currently are showing as spam links. And so you have, the only 2 that you have are just showing as very not credible sources linking back to your website. So we definitely want to fix that with high quality, authoritative links. Now again, if you implement these strategies today, you can be number 1 across Google. Now, I know how tough the market is, and I know how dependent small businesses can be on third-party companies like Angie's List. I also know how painful it is to pay for leads that are shared amongst your competitors. Everything that I've shown you here today, it gives you total control and an actionable plan, having clients come straight to your door without a broker in between. So I'm sure at this point of the video, sorry it's taken so long. I try to keep it short, but there's just so much information I try to educate on. But you're probably wondering at this point, okay, well, what now? Well, you really have a few options. First, if you feel like you could not handle any more clients every month, that is absolutely fair. If you could please send me a note telling me you watched the video. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. I would really appreciate your feedback. On the other hand, if you're ready to grow, then again, you can take this blueprint and implement these 3 strategies on your very own today. I give you the exact formula that businesses pay tons of dollars to have. Now, finally, if you found this information valuable and if you're still one of those business owners to still raise their hands for the most effective route, just go ahead and respond to my email and we'll set up a time to chat. Once again, my name is Seleni and I look forward to your feedback. Have a wonderful day.